folks. It's Wednesday 22nd of April, just gone 4 in the afternoon. So quite a bit has happened since the last time I made one of these. First off, I'm now in my now officially in my new place. I'll show you around a bit in a minute. It's a bit cluttered, just to warn you, as it tends to be when I've been in my place for over a month. But anyway, starting to get a little bit of buyer's remorse. Mostly, well, I started feeling it more when I just moved in and asked if I could keep a pet. I wasn't specific about what kind of pet, but the answer was no. So why did I move in without asking that? I was homeless for nearly a year by that point, and I'd had enough. But yeah, it was a case of a lesser of two evils in the end. Like, it was either find somewhere private or wait for the council to put me somewhere. And given the way they've treated not just me but others, especially those who did get a council place, that and the waiting list, it was a sort of bit of a nightmare. So yeah, I got myself what is basically an expensive plushie. It was marketed as a robot because it has sensors. I think the batteries run out actually. It's got a volume control. I don't know if you can see it from there. But I think the battery's gone, which is just as well, basically, because all it does is make noises. It sounds like a recorded purr, it sounds like a recorded meow, and I keep forgetting to turn my phone on silent, sorry about that. One sec. So yeah, it has sensors in various places, so it responds with a little purr recording depending where you touch it. But yeah, there was a more expensive one that acted more like a cat. It's like over £100 or something like that. But yeah, whichever option I got, it wouldn't be the same. But yeah, it's a case of making do with this little thing, which I haven't even used much, but it's good for things like this to give my hands something to do. No, the fur does feel fairly realistic, to be fair, and it's not as heavy as a real cat. It doesn't even move. So yeah. But yeah, ways to make do while living in this kind of place. But yeah, I mean, it's a good pit stop if nothing else. But as you may be able to hear, I am in a flat. Well, I think you know from last video I showed you around. It's a little it's a studio that I'm living in. That's part of a block of 4. I think the one opposite me is flat 4, who's a pretty nice guy actually. The only noise I think is more like people going in and out, and some of them work. There's a couple downstairs, an older couple. The guys in flat 2 who are opposite them actually helped me move my stuff in, which is nice. Especially considering by the time I did have to move, I actually preempted situation from what happened last time when I had to move from Morpher Street into say Morpher Street, it's the supported housing I was in, when the council gave me a few hours to move from there into into the other place where I was where I spent another 6 months. So when I got this place, I started gradually moving stuff in. I'm glad I did, including a lot of the furniture delivery, because one day I was out with a friend called Jane. I got a phone call from the council, bearing in mind this is the same council who funded my bond and rent in advance, so they would have known that I had this place. But they only called about a month later for some reason, and when I confirmed that I had this place, they gave me they were like, you've got to move either tonight or tomorrow morning. Yeah, so as if that weren't bad enough, I did eventually find out why, as I got a message from the landlady saying, have you moved out yet, because someone's going to be moving into your old room. I was like, okay, I didn't know about this. And she's like, neither did I until just now. I was like, communication in the council is appalling. I was like, this is the kind of reason I wanted to avoid the system in the first place. I mean, I'd heard horror stories in temp housing, but what I didn't know is how badly the council treat you when you're in the system. It's like they're baggage handlers and we're the baggage. Yeah, I mean, if, God forbid, I do end up homeless again, I will take my chances with either a tent or an abandoned building and have done with it, because sod that. Yeah, I am still paying for storage at the moment. I have been trying on and off to find somewhere either nearer or just cheaper or something like that, but it is the only option for now that lets me that has electric and lighting in there, because you would have seen from before, there's not much space to do practical hobbies here, and that's more important now because I started a couple of courses recently. So last Thursday I decided to go for a intro to clay sculpting course, which is like 20 to 30 minutes walk away from here. So I started that last Thursday, so that was pretty cool. And there was another one, historical fashion craft, which I've been making LARP costumes before, and I wanted to get back into sewing, so I jumped on that one, and we did that. We started that last night. That is quite a bit further away. I have to hop on the train, which is about half an hour's walk away from here. Train journey is about train journey is about 20 minutes or something like that, and then it's about 10-minute walk down to the college. That isn't so bad, but it is when you're having to lug a sewing machine. I'll show you in a minute. But so started that last night. That was pretty nice, getting back into talking about that sort of thing again, and it includes drafting your own patterns, which is something else I was interested in. So that was nice to get back into, and we'll start sewing things from next week. So that'll be nice. I haven't heard back from the allotments I applied to yet. I gather it's worth chasing up after leaving it a little while. I'm not sure yet. I did find out it is possible to buy a house when you're on benefits, actually. So that's nice to know. There is what they call a track record mortgage, where you don't need to put a deposit down, which for me would be ideal. Although you have to have been renting for at least a year and prove that you've been paying rent payments for a year, which I'm not sure how it's going to work in my case because the rent was paid in advance, but we'll have to see. But, I'm holding out for that at the moment. My inheritance has now all but gone. I think there's about 100 or so left after the council. They sent me an invoice to start paying their loan back, because that whole bond and rent in advance is a loan, sadly, and it's quite a bit of money for 6 months in advance. There's like over £3,000 or something like that. But when I got the invoice, admittedly I did leave it a few days or something like that, but I did set up a standing order to start paying them off weekly. Then I got a notice saying that payment was overdue, and they only gave the option to pay it off in full. And by that point I was like, you know what, sod it, just get them off my back. So I paid them off. It does mean though that I don't have any deposit now for that, or a boob job, which I finally heard back from saying no, I can't get it done in the NHS. So that was very disappointing. So I've had to renew my search into finding someone who will do that private. I did find someone, I found a couple of people. I emailed guys in Cardiff, and there's another one in Newport. Cardiff didn't respond, Newport did. So I asked them about finance options, and they said to give them a call back. Isn't my favourite form of communication, but yeah, it's a case of balancing that now between the courses I'm doing over the summer. I have applied to a horticulture course in September. It's in the same place as the agriculture one I applied for last year. Hopefully I'll get in this time, but the community learning courses that I'm doing now are actually a good warm-up, because after yesterday I'm feeling a bit fatigued. Hopefully by the time of the next course comes around tomorrow, I'll feel a bit better, especially if I turn in early. But I was napping for a few hours again this morning after being up for a bit. Speaking of which, so I was talking about getting my coming off venlafaxine. Instead changed it. So this is the XL prolonged release, and I was on immediate release before. I explained my concerns to the GP. She was like, well, maybe try prolonged release, see if you tolerate it better. It's a bit early days at the moment, I think, but as much as I hate to admit it, I might even need a bit higher dose. which she mentioned as a possibility. I have been feeling a bit more morose again. I think actually my sweet spot would be that and methylphenidate, because I mean, given how I've been feeling, just dropping the dose of that, it's like it's obviously a chemical imbalance that's leaving me prone to depression rather than just shit going sideways. So I think I'm gonna be on this for life now, sadly. I don't like having to rely on meds, but I guess if you have to, you have to, right? But yeah, so the problem with methylphenidate, of course, is that I'm at the mercy of the ADHD waiting list on the NHS. So when I follow up with the GP regarding that, I'm going to have to give her a prod, or ask her to give them a prod. And just like, look, I need to give my brain a kick up the arse. And I mean, it's helping to a point where once the venlafaxine's kicked in, then the coffee actually helps rather than makes me drowsy. I do feel the dose could be higher, partly for that reason. But methylphenidate would hopefully help with fatigue as well. But yeah. Quite annoying, really. There was another thing, like I was making all this noise in my last videos, which went horribly wrong, to the point where I had to make a lot of edits to make them even watchable, because it turned out my settings were all wrong and it was lagging the video. But I was making all this noise about getting an eGPU, like external graphics cards, caddy, to run through my laptop. It turns out the laptop doesn't support it, despite being Thunderbolt 4. So that was incredibly annoying. So I had to, in the end, get myself a proper gaming rig, which I will show you. I'll show you how my room's laid out now, actually. So here we go. Whoops. So that's the hallway and a step ladder there, which I'll be using for things like making use of storage up there. Turn the lights on. It's a bit cluttered in here because, yeah, I need to give myself a prod to stop buying other tech related stuff and get an undersink storage solution for that little lot. That cardboard will be going, and that cardboard will be getting recycled, but I've got some storage sorted out there. The shower's pretty decent, actually. Oh yeah, so I was given permission to add that. Something else I was given permission to add is that curtain holder there. So this is how I'm set out. There, coat hooks there, because probably can't. Well, I might be able to add coat hooks, but so bed there. That it's supposed to be a filing drawer type thing, but Wiltshire Ambulance gave me that instead. I don't know why. But yeah, that's my bench. So I was going for a bring nature indoors kind of look, so lots of wood. That was British Heart Foundation. It was really good. It was really nice actually. It's nice to sit on. And that, my friend got me that. Sadly, it's only going to be for that cat while I'm here. But yeah, so that, oops, all over the place here. That is a table I was using as a desk in my old place, which is my markers I'm using for colouring. Lactase tablets, one of which is empty. So yeah, so there was a few nice bits of furniture from Welsh Air Ambulance. So there's that. There's that, and I decided to treat myself to this Lego orchid thing. So that's fun to put together, and that bit high for a TV cabinet, but yeah, it is sold as just a side unit. Crochet area. That is my gaming rig. I decided this time I was going to use the graphics card I got for the eGPU. So it was a nice RTX 5070, and the rest was bought as a bundle, and I still had to mess about with things like the power supply. That is a standing desk, so just show you. Just think where this is at the moment. Oh, it's sitting down, which like that's my chair from last time. So got these buttons here. It is self-assembly, but things like this are already installed. So that one. Pretty neat, isn't it? Very handy. So yeah, that's my knitting. Oh, these bags here. Right, my sewing machine is in here. I will get a better trolley so I can hook that over it. That's a school bag that I brought up last night. That is containing my clay sculpting stuff. I might be able to bring something home to show you one of these days. But yeah, there's also that, which I'm keeping as a bookcase stroke office stuff. That I got hold of one of these Quest 3 because I was sick of having to make all these adjustments on the Quest 3S because of the lens. But yeah, that's pretty nice. I haven't used it for a while, to be honest, but I will. Slowly getting things sorted out at the moment. And oh yes, late. So yeah, that was British Heart Foundation for 95 quid. I think it was 95. Yeah, that I tend to use that instead of a radiator because I prefer the infrared generated from that, and it doesn't eat into the electric that much, as I've heard. So ignore the rubbish there. That was from my last delivery. Fridge there, 95 quid. That hasn't been unpacked still. Shopping trolley. New improved shopping trolley because the last one was on its last legs. Excuse the mess. Yeah, starting already, isn't it? So yeah, spaces are premium here, so I improvised that. So that's my microwave there. It's 65, I think. Yeah. Oh yeah, popcorn maker. I've used it a few times. It works very well, to the point where you like having to watch your low-flying popcorn. I'll get back to the Stardew videos in fairly short order. Now I've got my rig working. Also because I've got my new rig working, I can start thinking about branching out into other videos. I want to make sure my setup's working properly on this, like making sure the settings are all working okay and everything. But yeah, once I've got my Stardew videos sorted out, I can start branching out into other games. I've got Hollow Knight, Crisis Core, and Final Fantasy VII Remake downloaded. The latter, I've added loads of mods to it, mostly to bring it up to scale on my 4K monitor, which is also HDR. So there's a lot of like upscaling, making sure it's all HDR ready and everything. Tweaked a few settings to make sure it's working with Stardew Valley better as well. I haven't had much of a play with the others yet. Does remind me though, I need to get a Bluetooth dongle because I want to do Crisis Core videos with motion controls. I mentioned on one of the immersive sound videos, I think, about using the Switch controls to play it like you're playing with the Joy-Cons on the Switch or the Wiimotes on the Wii. So that is it, I think.